part 2 of us reading comments from our episode review of season 2, episode 7, The Feeding. Oh my gosh, there were so many great comments and theories, and me and John are just trying to get through as many as we can, as quick as we can, just so we can get it out to you guys, because I know the next episode's coming out, but it'll be fun to get the topics going and the theories going like crazy, because we're coming to the end of season 2, and hopefully we get answers. We may get a lot more questions than we're going to get answers, but me and John are super excited.
Yeah, and for the last episode, not the episode 7, but episode 6, one of the comments we read ended up being straight up right, where they were talking about, yeah, I think the snake is going to eat the fruit, and that's why it was a herbivore. And it was like, wow. So the comments definitely ended up being, spot on in some cases. So that's part of the fun of reading these. Is as a community, it's like, can we brainstorm and figure it out? So fun stuff. Welcome back to AsArt with Nick and John. So we are wrapping up pretty quick here. One more episode to go in season 2, but obviously doing multiple parts because there's so many good theories and comments from episode 7.
Yeah, John, we're going to have a poll out too about the time you're watching this video. And if you can go to the poll and let us know maybe shows you want to watch or streaming services you have, you'll see the poll there. If you just want to interact with us, that would be amazing, because we would love to know what shows you guys would like us to cover or hear our crazy, wacky opinions on.
So let's go ahead and jump back in. So we have Fabulous. It's not fabulous, it's fabulous. 514. What if the voice is actually good? As in, it's someone who followed the Mithraic rituals and ended up trapped in the core like Sue was trapped in the tree. Now they want out like Sue before something even worse happens. I know I'm reaching, but this show just keeps pulling twists and then 2 crying faces. And the funny thing is Nick and I, we've been going on and responding to comments, and everything I'm reading, I'm like, that's a good idea. That's good. I could see that happening. And at this point, this show is so nutty that really anything could happen. But at the same time, some really good comments. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a good idea. Like Nick had thrown out the theory. It's like, yeah, the heartbeat was getting slower and slower. Is that because, and Nick had thrown this out, not me, that because she's slowly dying and just becoming a tree, or is it because her life force or her, consciousness or whatever it is slowly being absorbed into the planet core and become part of that, if we are going towards this kind of Nick's Wi-Fi extender type of approach to things. And so if that's happened to her, and there's been a number of trees in the past, why would that not be other things as well? And if they're all part of this overall signal, then that would make sense. I mean, soul or whatever the voice is could very well just be something that's trapped in the same way. So it's kind of an interesting idea.
Yes. No, it was very interesting. That was a great one you picked out too. I mean, there's so many great comments. There's so many great comments. A lot of good.
All right, let's see. So
is this the long one?
Yeah, this is the longer one. So I'm gonna just read part of this one. But so self-evolved reads, in regards to father, I think he may really be grandmother's companion. Remember when Camping was telling him how strong he is and how his consciousness can be transferred into a new host body if he does die. This confused me because I was expecting this to be future foreshadowing. Specifically, I was expecting the body that wound up being grandmother to be father's next body.
Me too.
And so I'm going to stop this there because it goes on for a while, but this is funny because Nick and I had both kind of thought that's where this was going. Yeah. We thought father was going to bite it because he kept saying, and they kept kind of hinting at the idea that he wasn't going to stick around or that something was going to happen to him. And we still think that might happen, but the whole idea that he might have been grandmother's companion, or he's not just a general model and there's something special. Because they keep dropping hints. They helped him up after he got, voiced by the serpent or whatever, and the he helps him up. He's like, boy, you really are the toughest generic model ever. And it's like they keep coming back to that, and they could just be dangling fake fruit in front of us to keep us thinking there's something special about him. But boy, I mean that they are leaving at least some type of trail for us to come to those type of conclusions.
And like two seasons later, they can have something happen to father, and they had the groundwork laid down.
Yeah.
But he did hear a ringing though after he fell.
I mean, he could. I mean, I've heard ringing when I've gotten beaten in the head in jiu-jitsu practice too. So it could have been that too.
I'm just saying, like that could also signify something too, where maybe that was the signal that he was slightly hearing from the core, or who knows? It can be every little thing in this in this show you have to like hold on to. So
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, he doesn't seem like at times he has as much screen time as some of the other characters, but
One of my
his
favorite
character
characters.
development
Yeah.
has been wonderful. Yeah, his character development's been great. So, but yeah, so anyway, so that was a really fun comment because it's something that Nick and I had thought was going to happen. The father was going to, be dead and be transferred into another body, but maybe that already happened in the past.
It's true.
So, yeah. Yeah, so it's cool stuff. Cool idea. And completely plausible for androids and all that idea and things like that. All right, let's go on and grab another one. All right, so this is referring to the episode 8 preview. So if you don't want to know anything for the trailer for the next episode, just fast forward for like a minute or two. All right, so potential spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is Pascaline. Oh, man, I'm really bad on this one. So Pascaline is we're gonna put it up on the screen, so I'm not gonna butcher your name. All right, in the episode 8 preview, the scene where it looks like it is snowing, I think those are nanobots that have been released into the atmosphere, and maybe humans that are from the tree are now susceptible to de-evolution. So kind of going backwards. I thought this was a really fun comment. That scene may be a flashback to how all those humans devolved, or perhaps the present time of how some of the current humans who ate Sioux fruit will devolve. I like how they named it Sioux fruit. Yeah. Who ate Sioux fruit will devolve. And I thought that was a really fun concept because I thought, all right, well, the fruit wasn't intended for them to begin with. It was just for the snake, and them eating that, I guess, didn't have any consequences. But you know what? We're still trying to bridge that gap of, all right, so how did these humans devolve, and what did that come from?
I like the flashback, too. The flashback
I thought that
idea.
Was, I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely get a flashback with grandmother in this last season too, because we've had it with Mother, we've had it with Caleb and Mary when they were gonna their whole character stuff. So we can definitely have a flashback. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility for this last episode. And like if they're worshiping these snakes or beasts or whatever they are, it can definitely be like a hooray, yeah, they're awesome, and then the day went dark.
And at this point we've been strongly introduced in that chasm scene with Marcus to the nanobots. I mean, that was basically, aside from him finding the card, that was the purpose of that whole section, to where, okay, well, the nanobots are definitely going to become an important section of this at some point in time, whether it's this season or later on. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen ash and snow-ish type things that didn't have to do with nanobots, but boy, now I'm going to be worried anytime I see something like that. I'm like, get that tooth away from me. I don't care if you want to see the tooth fairy, get that tooth away from me.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Now, at the end of season 1, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do my best with my memory here. Mm-hmm. When they were at the hole, and they were, the whole birth scene happened with number 7. There was all ash in the air, and it wasn't snow, right?
That was ash.
Okay, yeah. No.
I think it was ash.
It was something, because it wasn't snow, because I don't think I remember them bundling up.
I always look at stuff like that. I'm like, oh, such beautiful particles.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love the atmosphere it creates. It's just so fun. Yeah,
no, totally.
All right, so Ruth Bennett. All right, let's see. So my bit of tinfoil theory, we're all about the tinfoil theory here. My bit of tinfoil theory is that grandmother sacrificed herself to create the haven of the tropical zone, being biological technology and all. It might be that our golden necromancer mother will sacrifice herself to fulfill the prophecy of the Golden City, to shelter her children from the threats of K-22 and Soul. So this is kind of an interesting one as far as, what direction is grandmother going to go? So we don't know grandmother's leanings at all right now, but we also don't know what her leanings are going to be once she has the veil off, if it really does kind of hinder her emotions. So that's going to be a fun.
So the reason why I like this comment a lot was because she has an empty space where Mother's weapons would be. She would have a power. And if Mother's whole thing is destruction, and if grandmother's is life,
which we don't know.
We don't know, but I'm just playing. Like if they do that whole thing, remember how the similar structure to her skeletons was seen on the planet around the tropical zone, right? So what if she was like in the cave? We don't know if that's the center of the tropical zone or whatever, but maybe one of her powers is she like can sacrifice herself for like life to grow, and she could create like a safe haven, but her body's still intact. But then with the right material to bring her back and stuff. It's like maybe it's just like it's like I don't know if you guys watch Naruto, but it's like the almighty push. Like after he uses his strongest move, he needs time to recharge and stuff before he can use his strongest move again or something like that. But anyways, but like maybe she needs to recoup. Like maybe it's like a long process for her to get that power back, where then she can use it again, which would create the city. Maybe first it was the tropical zone and then it's a city or whatnot. But I just thought, this show, you can't put anything past it, John.
Well, they already had that strong conversation. The first time Mother walks in on Campion and Father.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, what is this? And he was like, it could be like a huge asset. It could create, blah, 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 blue, blue. I don't remember
cities
what it said,
and other stuff. Like
yeah.
that.
So, I mean, it would make complete sense, especially when we saw, when the fuel was poured on her, or when the light hit her, how biological, matter formed. It would make complete sense that's where the whole biodome kind of came from. Yeah. So that would, or biosphere, whatever you want to call it.
I really like that theory. Sense. Yeah, I really like that. I was just like, oh, that's good. Take that to the bank.
I'll buy that for $1.
$1, sir.
All right. So Brathwadd. If Sol was once a human and is believed to be trapped at the center of the planet, maybe he needs a baby to be reborn and rule over humanity. Tempest's baby might be the vessel he chooses. This is turning out to be a revenge story of someone banished or imprisoned by humans. They must have oppressed Sol's ideals and overthrown him. So as I'm reading this, I cannot help but see Ghostbusters Part 2 with the U2. Was it U2? No, not Zool. What's his name?
Yeah.
The Carpathian, in the painting, But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the big reveal of the whole series. I'm sure we're not going to find out until the end, like what is going on.
I mean, revenge is a great motivation. So like if
it drives Nick to get out of bed every day.
Like Batman. No.
You can tell
Batman's vengeance. He's not revenge.
You can tell that Nick is all about anger and revenge, because he's never laughing and never smiley. Yeah.
But like, I also like the idea too, because the voice told the guy with the helmet to do the whole thing with the baby, and what if that was all because he needs a vessel to like we've seen leeches too. We've seen leeches in this series and other stuff too, where the idea of being able to transfer data or and we know Seven's half human, half nanobot robot or whatever, and now we see Grandmother can grow plants on her body with the sunlight hitting her. Like there's no limits to how things can be transferred and stuff like that. And if it's through a creature's milk or whatever, you can transfer DNA or knowledge or whatever, and who knows? Like it's just craziness, and I loved it. The crazier they are, the more I like them. And
but this is a fun idea, especially just like, hey, where's this baby gonna come into this equation? Because I keep forgetting that the whole, Tempest baby, came from this guy that was in the helmet, but I forgot that all came from him hearing a voice before they even got there. It's like, okay,
it compelled him to do it or whatever.
Yeah, this baby is very strong in this equation, and how does this baby feed into there? And this whole, kind of delusion and leading, just like, Mother with the serpent. It's like, oh, I guess, so how this baby going to lead into there? There was even a theory, I'm not sure if it's in the comments, that maybe this, no, this is getting into the trailer. I don't want to get into that because that might spoil it for someone. Never mind. I take it back.
We do our best to save trailer talk for the end. If it slips, I'm sorry. It's hard to talk about this show without talking about trailers or any other crazy theories or spoilers. So if you're watching this, we do our best, but we will fail. I guarantee you we will fail.
We did throw
we are human.
We did throw out the spoiler warning when we started this off. So hopefully that's keeping you guys, at least in warning. All right, let's see. So let's go ahead and hop down here. Vinnie Borden. All right, so Sue heard the voice because she was not in the tropical zone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this is another. Do you want me to read this one too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Sue heard the voice because she was not in the tropical zone. She was in the torrential ship, which is parked just outside the tropical zone. The ships cannot fly through the EMF field. Also, the voice was distorted and hard to hear, most likely interferes from the EMF being close by. So again, this is good, confirmation of what we
talked about this in the last video too, a little bit. But just in case you didn't see that, I just thought it would be good to mention another one like this, just in case you only watch one video. But yes, I was wrong about the ship being inside the tropical zone when I was like thinking about the theory that maybe by grandmother being activated, it was like another Wi-Fi signal, so it can the voice can be stronger in the tropical zone area. But
Which it could be. I mean, it doesn't have to be an and or. I mean, doesn't have to be one or the other.
But I really liked how it was distorted because it was so close. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like when you launch a drone. I don't know if you guys ever fly drones, but it's like cannot launch because of metallic device or magnetic device. Like if you're too close to something metal, it's like, oh crap, I gotta walk five feet over. But anyways.
All right, so All American Shooter says, what if the seeds mark people for the snake to eat now? So he will know the difference between believers and non-believers. And crazy, I know, but what if somehow the person in the sack is Sue and the snake laid her as if she was an egg? So that's kind of funny idea because, the snakes do lay these very pliable egg sacs. That's kind of interesting.
John gets a lot of his animal knowledge from BBC Planet Earth because of the ants theory. Anyways.
Yeah, couple episodes back. And then he put in quotes, why I don't know, but with this show, whoever knows. How was he put that in quotes?
It makes perfect sense.
I still think the sack is mother as well, though somehow when if the snake gets destroyed and if she thinks Campion is dead, she will see no reason to function and the veil will shut her down. So,
yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I like that a lot. That really explains itself perfectly. With the whole, that's a trailer thing. Sorry about that. It's a trailer thing, but hey, we just said the other disclaimer. But yeah, I like that a lot too, where maybe because if she doesn't have any children left of her original children, but she's still kind of her adopted children, I guess you can say she's close to them, but maybe like her core function, like she lost the last one of the original 6 and she lost her own number 7. That might be enough to overwhelm her systems or something like that. I like that a lot.
Miranda Hudson, definitely think eating the fruit will make them more susceptible to Soul's voice. Eek, the shit is truly hitting the fan now. I like the eek. And then, I mean, the fruit, it would make sense that unless they were just trying to temporarily misdirect us to think, oh, what's going to happen? And then, the impact was meant to come when the serpent, ate the fruit. But you would think that something with the fruit's going to happen. I mean, they spent a good number of minutes of screen time in that episode on that. And then the whole thing when Campion was looking at it, smelling at it, and then, intentionally putting it back. I mean, you would think there's going to be some type of repercussions from that, but it's going to be interesting to see what it is. Some of the theories we've gotten here have been really fun to discuss. All right, so I might mispronounce this with Nashir. What if the core is an AI designed by humans to reshape the planet so it can support human life? And the core is not just any AI, but a collection of many human minds turned into trees, and now they just want to end their everlasting life and hence wants to destroy the planet. What if all the trees in the planet are basically human turned into it? So this again goes back to the whole idea. It's like, okay, what happened to Sue? Is she gone now when the snake, kind of consumed the tree? Or was the fading heartbeat an idea of her transferring somewhere else? Because again, we have this idea that the planet, we get a lot of hints, and Nick has picked up on them more than I have, that it feels almost like it's a constructed, architect type thing in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there was another comment, I believe, I can't remember, I believe it was in this video too, where they did mention that Sue did say burn me.
Yes.
So it could mean that she was destroyed with the tree. Because the idea of burn me, not like burn it.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, like it's me, like burn me. But maybe that was like something else. I mean, it can go a million different ways. Like we just read a comment too where it can be Sue in a snake egg for all we know. It can be super crazy. I mean, there's so many questions leading up to the last episode of season 2, and I'm super excited. I really hope season 3 gets more episodes, but sometimes more episodes hurts the show because they're trying to stretch out their content, but they don't want to reveal too much. But man, it's been such a fun month of just watching Raised by Wolves. I'm kind of bummed this is coming to an end, but I'm also excited because it's going to lead to more theory talk with the more info we get, and we'll do our best to cover Raised by Wolves stuff even throughout the year here. if it comes to like trailers dropping and other info dropping and stuff like that too. We'll do our best to stay on top of that stuff, but we are also covering many other shows. We from Amazon Prime. We like The Boys a lot. We do love HBO Max. You name a show on HBO Max, we really like HBO Max. And if there's any shows on HBO Max you would like us to cover too, let us know down below, because we know you guys have HBO Max because you guys are watching Raised by Wolves, which is nice. And yeah, John, we're gonna have a poll out too about time you're watching this video, and if you can go to the poll and let us know maybe shows you want to watch or streaming services you have, you'll see the poll there. If you just want to interact with us, that would be amazing, because we would love to know what shows you guys would like us to cover or hear our crazy wacky opinions on.
All right, guys. So with that, check out AsArt.space for all the audio and video links. We're definitely looking forward to the conversation continuing in the comments. Again, this video's talking about your guys' thoughts, and we'd love to continue that. So thank you very much for watching. Again, check out AsArt.space for all the audio and video links, and we'll see you on the next AsArt Planet Corsu.